Alright, good morning. Today is December 8th, Saturday. So as you can see, I am in a better mood. Yesterday I had the day off so I could go to therapy, like it's in my previous video, and it was shitty. So in the morning I didn't feel too good. I was just feeling kind of and then I had to go to therapy, so I was not particularly happy about that. But I had plenty of time. I had about 4 hours, and instead of getting up, getting ready, all that stuff, I just sat here and I went through my phone, went through Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, all the fucking apps. And it took me forever to get ready. Even when it was time to, like, I was like, okay, since I have time, I'll do my hair and feel a little bit pretty or something, just make myself feel better somehow. I was planning on doing some kind of makeup too, but by the time that I actually stood up, I had to do something very quick with my hair, and makeup was not an option. Especially because I was going to go to therapy and I was going to end up crying anyway. So I said, there's no point in it. But yeah. After that, I was supposed to... Oh, therapy went terrible. Well, not terrible, but she gave me some exercises or whatever. I cried a lot. And it was just kind of like... Ugh. It was not pretty. I've been having a lot of, like, the negative thoughts that I was talking about last time, and she gave me like this sheet where I'm supposed to, let me see if I can find it. Okay. So she gave me a packet that says, not a packet, but like 2 or 3 sheets. It says, feeling angry or guilty, maybe it's time to stop should-ing. And then the first sentence is, are you should-ing or masturbating yourself into unhappiness? And it went very good into our conversation. That's why she printed it for me. I haven't read it yet, but I will. But it's supposed to be about all the I should, I must. So like right now, being 27, I'm like, well, I should be in a better place by now. Okay, my job is better, but I should have more money. I should have a car. I want my own place. I should be better mentally. Like, I kept saying all those things, and she's like, okay, wait, stop. So once I read that, I'll probably come back to you guys for that. Then she gave me another, it's like an exercise sheet. This whole chart thing or whatever, and it says whenever you have like a it says as soon as you feel your mood worsening. Oh, because we were talking about goals and what my goal was, and right now my goal is to not have these crazy fluctuations between depression and like super manic, like crazy energized. Like, I love the energized one, but I don't want to have those deep depression sessions anymore, or at least not as often or as crazy. So she said, you know, when I start feeling like that, ask myself, it says, what am I thinking and feeling right now? And then it tells you to write down the date and time, the situation, so what event led to the distressing feelings, and then automatic thoughts, so what kind of what was the thinking process, what got you there, any thoughts, images, smells, what was the situation, and then rate how strong you believe it from 0 to 100%, and then which thinking style. So there's lots of different thinking styles she gave me. Another sheet so that I could figure it out. So there's an all or nothing, sometimes called the black and white thinking. So like if I'm not perfect, then I have failed, or either I do it right or not at all, which I do that a lot. Well, I do that when I'm depressed. And then there's overgeneralizing, so seeing a pattern based upon a single event, or being overly broad in the conclusions we draw. That's interesting. I've noticed myself doing that too. There's a mental filter, which is only paying attention to certain types of evidence. So, for example, noticing our failures but not seeing our successes. That's a very important one, because, at least for me, when I'm in a depressed mood, I definitely look at all the failures more than I do the successes, which I'm so grateful for Liz for this, because she reminds me to be proud of myself when I need to be. And actually, Josh has been telling me, or told me the one time recently, that he was proud of me for like getting to where I'm at right now. Even though I'm obviously still struggling, at least I can celebrate the little successes. So there's that. The next style of thinking is disqualifying the positive. So discounting the good things that have happened or that you have done for some reason or another. So saying like, oh, that doesn't count. Well, it all counts. So that, remembering that. There's also jumping to conclusions, which there are two key types of jumping to conclusions. There's mind reading, so imagining we know what the others are thinking. Guilty. That's so bad, but I'm definitely guilty of that. And fortune telling, so predicting the future. Well, because I think, I'm like, oh, they're probably thinking like this, so then in the future, probably this is gonna happen. I know I shouldn't. I'll work on that. There's also magnification or catastrophizing and minimization. So blowing things out of proportion, catastrophizing, or inappropriately shrinking something to make it seem less important. Oh, I definitely do that. Okay, so I definitely did that today. I went on Snapchat, and so Josh doesn't use it very often, but he had messaged me like 3 days ago, and because he usually doesn't use it, but we talk through there, usually I'm on his favorites, and then for the past 3 days we haven't talked on it. So for a bit, because I do talk to other people on Snapchat, it had like the little face where I'm his favorite but he's not mine, and I was okay with that because it was me doing it, I guess, or because I know he doesn't use it. So now, today, I'm no longer one of his favorites. And that kind of hurt a little bit, even though I know I shouldn't feel that way. But it felt like, oh, so he's talking to other people on Snapchat now, huh? Who's he talking to? And then his answers with me have been very short. Lately, like these past few days, the past few times that I've messaged him on something, he's like very short or something. I don't know if he's been more busy than usual because we haven't talked about that, but that could be it. Or I don't know, maybe he's going through some stuff and thinking about shit, and I don't know, it could be many things. But now I'm like, oh, well then he's probably seeing somebody else now. Which I guess it could be it. But that's none of my business right now because we're not together. And yeah. And it kind of sucks because, yeah, I do have the hope of maybe we can get back together. And he did already say that he's not willing to try yet because he's working on himself, on other things. And I believe him when he said that. But yeah, I totally blew that out of proportion. And I need to keep those thoughts quiet. So once I did that, I noticed that I started thinking that way, and I what did I do? I went on Facebook and started like looking at other things to get my mind off of it. So disrupting that negative thought process thing. Anyway, okay, so next, thinking styles. Unhelpful thinking styles. There's emotional reasoning. Oh, sorry, I had a bug on my arm. Okay. Oops. Anyway, emotional reasoning, which is assuming that because we feel a certain way that we must assuming that because we feel a certain way, what we think must be true. Okay, so for example, I feel embarrassed, so I must be an idiot. Yeah, I've been super emotional for a while, like, not like, oh my god, but like, well, actually a little bit. Oh, I'm itchy, sorry. Yeah, for a few years now, I've been like super emotional, and I need to change that. And that goes back to what I learned yesterday about needing reinforced yesterday, that my yellow chakra is out of line, or it's a sacral. I still haven't learned all the names, but anyway, I'll get to that later. There's also another way of thinking, of using critical words like should, must, or ought, which who uses ought anymore, but anyway, can make us feel guilty or like we have already failed. Obviously, that's why she gave me an article about it, because I do a lot of shoulds. There's also labeling, which is assigning labels to ourselves or other people. Like, I'm a loser, I'm completely useless, they're such an idiot. Yeah. Guilty. Damn it. And then there's personalization, which is blaming yourself or taking responsibility for something that wasn't completely your fault. Conversely, blaming other people for something that was your fault. So I definitely do the first part. I don't really do the second part anymore. I was working on that, and now I don't. But now I blame myself and take responsibility for most other things. I always think, well, what's wrong with me, or what did I do, or blah 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 blah, which is good in a healthy, in a healthy amount, because then you just take responsibility for the things that you did, and then you realize what it was, and then try to change that for the better. But when you overdo it, that's when it's like, oh wait, that wasn't really my fault. Like, I can't really do anything about that. So that's when it's like, stop it. That's definitely me. But anyway, back to the chart. So it says, after you've done all that, you ask, like, what feelings did you have and how intense were they, from 0 to 100%. After that, you write your response. So respond to each thought using questions below, and it has 6 questions. What is the evidence of your thought? Like, is it true or not true? 2 sides should total 100%. Number 2, would others agree that your thought is true? Number 3, what are some alternative explanations for your thought? So, like, thinking, oh, he probably has some other girl that he's talking to, or he could just be really busy, which is more likely the case, because that's the whole reason we broke up. Hello. But my irrational thought, anyway. Before, what's the worst thing that could possibly happen? The best, most realistic. So, what's the worst that can happen? He doesn't talk to me. What's the best thing that can happen? He could just be like, hey, yo, I was like really busy, and we're back, and we're gonna be happy, and blah 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 blah, and we're happily ever after. Most realistic, he's just gonna let it be, and he doesn't owe me any explanation, so he's not gonna give me one, because he doesn't owe it to me. Duh. Number 5, if a friend in the situation had this thought, how would you respond? I would tell him to stop overreacting. Just give it time. It's too soon yet to do any of that. Stop it. They're not together anymore, so stop it. Number 6, what are the benefits of this thought? None. The costs are everything. So there's no reason to have it. And then you rate how much you believe each response from 0 to 100%. And then finally, the results. So rate the intensity of feelings, rate belief in thoughts, write a more balanced thought. So a more balanced thought would be more like, it doesn't really matter what he's doing, who he's talking to. Like, it could be a friend or whatever. So focus on you. Like, right now, just, you have a lot of work to do. Focus on you and don't worry about what he's doing right now. Yes. Rate your belief in this thought from 0 to 100%. So yeah, that's the activity she gave me. That's been interesting, but I'll be working on that this week. And okay, so other than that, after that, I was like, okay, I need to do something. I didn't really want to come home because my mom was home and I didn't want all the questioning and, why are you home on a Friday? You're supposed to be at work, blah 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 blah. She doesn't know about therapy. Nobody does, like, in my household. But yeah, so I was going to go downtown to talk to the bank accountant that I've been talking to about helping me raise my credit. But Sai, or Chelsea, or whatever we're gonna call her right now, she's got both names right now, she messaged something about she needed to go out. And I know that she's been struggling a bit. I don't know exactly what it is, or I didn't know what was going on. I said, fuck it. Me too. So let's hang out. Let's do something. So on my way, I was going to stop at this yoga studio on my way to downtown. So I told her to meet me there. She didn't, bitch. Just kidding, not a bitch, but so I always pass by this yoga studio and it always kind of like grabs my attention and I always want to stop in, but I never have. It's called Ahimsa Yoga, and for some reason, I mean, it just always called my name, even though I've had, when I was working at the gym, I was able to take the classes for free and I never did. But for some reason, this always calls my name. So I finally stopped in and I had researched it the night before and it seemed interesting. They have some cool trips to other countries and like within the country. But the one I saw, it was to Machu Picchu, Peru. And it sounds so fantastic. And I've been wanting to go to Machu Picchu forever. So I was like, oh, it's super expensive though. I can't afford it right now. But I stopped in. The lady that was at the front desk, she talked to me. It was cool, really cool vibe. It was really awesome. And then she was, well, they're actually looking to get people, if you work like for 4 hours, like a 4-hour shift, you can go to the classes for free. I was like, what? So she gave me the information and everything. I just applied and it says will work for yoga. So apparently you work and in exchange you get the free yoga classes. I'm cool with that. So I applied. I'm gonna wait for the response. But what was really awesome was that while I was there, I really connected with this girl. Like, we were just like bouncing energy back and forth between us, and it was like really, really cool. She seemed like a cool girl. She says she's struggled with depression before, and I was telling her about how I'm doing these videos and how I wanted to eventually come to a point where I can help people in general, because men need it too, but I feel like women are more likely to seek the help than a guy is, so it's probably going to be female dominated, but I would like it to be more balanced. But anyway, that's a different video. But yeah, we were just talking about stuff like that, and I asked her if they did Reiki there, and she said yes, but I would have to talk to the lady, which is totally cool. She gave me her phone number too, and she's actually also the hiring person, or not hiring, or whatever, you know what I mean. But yeah, so that was pretty cool. And then I met up with Chelsea at her new, or where she's staying right now. The date just keeps getting better and better. Like, it was great. I ended up at her house. We talked things out. We cried together. We laughed together. We connected a lot better in different ways. I'm super glad that even though she's going through a hard time, she's taking it pretty well, like really well. And I'm so proud of her for that. I hope I said that to her. Well, I hope so. But if not, I will tell her. And then we started talking about like spirituality, crystals, and chakras and all that stuff. And she tells me, yeah, right now I'm really seeing that your yellow and green chakra really need some help. And because of the reading that I've been doing, I kind of already guessed that part. But it's reassuring to hear it from her, because then I know exactly. Sorry, I had like an eye booger or something. Gross. That it's reassuring to hear it from somebody else that's been doing this for years. So anyway, I know I need to work on those. But then we made a little trip to get some crystals, or honestly it was just to get information about, like, I wanted to see the information on Reiki. Reiki is a type of like a healing, even though it comes from within you, but it's with the guidance or help from a Reiki master, somebody that does this already. It's kind of like when you get a massage and you get the relaxation and kind of like a restart to your body. The same thing for your energies, for your 7 chakras, or at least that's what I understand from it so far. So I went to go get information on that, but in the same street there's a few shops that supposedly do it. But when I researched them, one of them really called, like, just felt like I should go there. And it was a crystal shop where they also do the sessions. And the guy there was super cool. Like, I was really feeling the vibe. And then all the crystals were so beautiful. But for some reason, this one kept calling. Like, I kept staring at this one. And this one kept, like, I don't know. I kept wanting to go towards it. So the red stone, I forget the name already. I'm so new to this. Let me get this, my chunky ass neck. Anyway, so the red is for the grounding, the first chakra, the root chakra. So just like grounding yourself to earth, connecting yourself. So I figured, why not, work from the very first one. And then this one, it's I forget the names of these crystals. I'll figure it out. But it's like just in like an overall, all through like the entire thing type of energy. So from the root to the rest, which I thought was freaking awesome, that's what called me, because I love it. I love that idea. So it was just calling me, so I bought it. And then he also had little sets. Where did I put it? Oh, it's still in the little bag. Okay, so he had little bags where inside of them he has stones, one for each chakra, for the 7. So he has, I don't remember like the names or anything, but so there's a red one for the root chakra. There's the yellow for the 2nd, or sacral chakra, I believe it's called. And there's, what's the one after that? I think this is called the tiger eye, I want to say. I'm not 100%. But this one's for the 3rd chakra. Then there's the green for the heart chakra. Okay, after this I always get confused. Hold on. I believe the next one is this one. Oh jeez, I'm terrible with that. from here on I'm really confused because I'm focusing on the first ones first. Then there's this blue one for the 6th chakra. I think I might have mixed the purple one and the white one. But then there's the purple one, and I thought this was for the crown chakra. But I could have those white ones. Okay, I could have these two mixed up. They look very similar, but the colors are definitely visible in person. But one of them is the crown and one of them is the other one, so I'm not sure. Anyway, these just were really interesting, and I was like, well, why not just enter all of them? So I'll probably be carrying these with me for a while and just kind of feel out my energy and see how I feel. And this is so weird the way I'm talking, like my energy and it called to me, like it just sounds fucking crazy. Like what? Stone talks to you, like it calls you, like what? I don't fucking know, man. I'm going with the flow because I'm actually believing it. Like from all the reading and the videos and everything, like it makes sense. So I feel like I don't lose anything by trying, other than like a few bucks by buying this stuff. But I don't know, it feels good. I'm liking it, so why not? Yeah. And then we went back to our house, talked some more, and really just, we ate first. But yeah, so it was really, really good. And I was able to sleep a lot better last night, like through the night. Just, she called like at 4 in the morning. That was a different issue. But after that, I fell right back asleep, and it was great, which is crazy because the last few nights I haven't been able to sleep. And I put this on since yesterday, and I put the other stones next to me. I don't know if it has anything to do with it, or maybe all the walking that we did, I was just that tired. I still don't know. But we're gonna try this out and see what happens. This morning I woke up, I feel good. I feel good energy through my body. I don't know if that's the mania talking, like from the manic depression, or they call it bipolar now. So I don't know, excuse me. Just burped. I don't know if it's like just the mania speaking with all this energy, or if it is the crystals. I don't fucking know. Either way, I like it. Let's carry on. Oh, and then we went to another shop where they do Reiki there. What I like about her, which at first I felt kind of like, oh, she's all like, she's doing this for money, but I like that she teaches Reiki as well, so that eventually I can learn it. And the reason why I want to learn it was the first time I heard of it was because I read it somewhere, but I didn't pay much attention to it. But then Josh mentioned it again, and he said he wanted to learn it, and I was like, what? So he didn't have a lot of time, so I researched it for him, and I had already ran like into this shop virtually, so through the internet, and it kind of like, it was one of my top 3 picks. So now that I've been in there, I like the vibe. Like, I like what the lady is trying to stand for, what like her vision of having the shop is, and then the fact that she teaches. So I think I'm gonna have a session with her after I get more acquainted, like, and feel this stuff. I'll probably have a session with her, and then if I like it, eventually I'll have more. Obviously, like, spread apart, and then hopefully she can teach me. Of course, for a fee, so she probably will teach me. But I mean more like if I stick with it, because I keep starting things and then I don't finish. So, but this feels good, so we'll see how this goes. But anyway, at the yoga studio, I totally forgot to mention the girl that was there, Angelina, something like that. I'll look at it again, but we exchanged phone numbers. She was like oh my god, I totally love your vibe, blah 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 blah. And she was like super awesome, and I really liked the energy that I got from her. So we were talking about like, or I don't know, for some reason I started telling her about what I want to do eventually with the group of people and helping, and becoming maybe like a Reiki master, and like all these kinds of things, and just like helping people with depression and stuff. And we exchanged numbers, and now she's like, oh my god, I want to know more about you and stuff like that. But what I really like about that is that just talking about all that stuff, like what I want to do and how I want to do them and all that stuff, it gave me the energy again to want to try to get them done again. So work on it again, which always gives me like a surge of energy thinking about, you know, the possibility and everything of writing that book, or not writing, but illustrating the book of poems that I was supposed to be working on, getting this group together, getting back in shape, doing the yoga, like, oh, there's so many things, and it's like, why haven't I done it yet, or why haven't I gone through with it? But right now I'm feeling good, I'm feeling the energy, I'm feeling pretty freaking fantastic, which is so weird compared to like what I was feeling yesterday. No, not yesterday, but the day before, because it's already Saturday. See, I got my days all fucked up. It's because I didn't go to work on Friday. But compared to how I was feeling over the week, during the week, to how I'm feeling over the weekend, it's completely turned around, and there's, I don't know, just fucking, I mean, it just happens. I don't know. And today, I don't feel hideous. I don't know. The sun is hitting my face, not directly. Obviously, I'm in my room, but it's like there's light right here. That feels good. So my hair looks healthier finally, because I haven't been dyeing it. The bottom is still dyed, but it doesn't look so bad. It's still healthier after I chopped off the ends that were so dead. But it feels so much better, softer. I like it. I like where this is going. I like this flow right here, and I hope I can keep it. Oh, if it could be like this forever, it would be amazing. Oh, another thing. Chelsea, the place where she's staying at, the house she's staying at, she found it. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful house. It's beautifully decorated. So she was in somebody else's home, and